Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel, and today we'll be starting a new series called Seen and Heard, where I talk about some of my favorite games, shows, anime, movies, and music that I'm loving lately. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, I'm going to talk about a game I've been playing, Nier Automata. I'm playing it on PS4. I know it came out last year, and I'd heard a lot of great things about it, so I finally decided to sit down and play it. Now, small spoiler, this game requires multiple playthroughs, but each playthrough you play is a different character. So far, I finished the first playthrough as 2B, and I'm on my second playthrough as 9S. I really love the storytelling in this game. The music is amazing. I'd never played any of the Drakengard series before, but you really don't have to understand what's going on in this game, as they're all kind of loosely related. This game has you grappling with deep morality issues, philosophical questions like what is the difference between humans and androids and robots, and so I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I obviously can't give a full review of the game, but so far I'm loving the experience. Next, I'd like to talk about a couple things I've been watching. So I've been watching the newest season of The X-Files, and I'm not really digging most of it, but the most recent episode, The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat, episode 4, was absolutely ridiculous. I think The X-Files is the best when it's not taking itself too seriously. I also thought this was such a great take on the modern political and media climate, fake news, and alternative facts, and those kinds of things that really brought the X-Files into the modern era instead of leaving it firmly planted in the early to mid 90s. So I would highly recommend you check that out, especially if you have any history with the X-Files. You are in for a treat. There's a lot of references and jokes in that episode. Yeah, it was really great. Next, I'd like to talk about Darling in the Franxx, which is an anime by Studio Trigger that I'm absolutely loving this season. I think it's the standout pick among all the anime this season. I did talk about this in another one of my videos where I gave my impressions of all the winter anime after watching basically the first 1 or 2 episodes of each show. So I'll leave a link to that in the cards and you can check that out. Now we're a few episodes in. I'm really loving it. The animation is great. The story is great. There's definitely some Evangelion tones going on here, as well as a lot of throwback to shows like Gurren Lagann, which is to be expected. This show is above and beyond all of the other anime out right now. You should check it out if you like anime at all. It's worth your time. Next, I want to talk about the Blade Runner 2049 Blu-ray. One of the best things about this Blu-ray is the extra features that are included on the disc. They include all 3 of the short films, which if you haven't seen them, they're on YouTube, as well as a whole heap of special features and interviews. The bonus with this is the Blu-ray is in 3D, which means you can watch it in VR. I have PlayStation VR, so it is possible for me to watch this cyberpunk movie in 3D. If you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, it's absolutely amazing. The storytelling, the cinematography, the atmosphere, music, soundtrack, everything about this movie. It was probably one of my favorite films of the last year, so I feel very lucky to have it on Blu-ray. I want to talk about some music that I'm loving lately. Now, my music tastes are kind of varied, but this month, I think with the release of all the new anime, I really dove into J-pop. The first song I'm really into is Clear by Maya Sakamoto. This is the opening to Cardcaptor Sakura. And I've always loved Maya Sakamoto. Her voice is amazing. She usually teams up with Yoko Kanno, who's also one of my favorite composers. So her songs really have a very specific sound that I already loved. And so it was really exciting that she came out with a new song. And another song that I've really been into is Error by Garnidelia. This is the opening to the anime Beatless, which I'm not watching the anime, but I heard the song and it's really great. I really like Garnidelia. They've done openings for some other anime shows. The song is really good. It's a kind of up-tempo pop song. It's very fresh. And the last music I'm going to talk about today is the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 soundtrack. Yasunori Mitsuda is my favorite composer, and he did not compose all the music on this soundtrack, but he composed some, and in general, the soundtrack to this game is amazing. I've been trying to learn some of the music on piano. Probably one of the best tracks is Elysium of the Blue Sky. It plays throughout kind of the dramatic moments in Xenoblade. I think think you can see I'm really big on music. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is a book series by Dan Simmons. It's the Hyperion Anthology. It consists of 4 books: Hyperion, Fall of Hyperion, Endymion, and The Rise of Endymion. If you want to read an epic sci-fi story that spans hundreds of years, planets, I mean, it's basically like a space opera, I would highly recommend you read these books. They're written so well. I really enjoyed reading these books on my Kindle. Kindle has this great feature where you can either look up words or look up references. So I could look up a specific thing that was referenced in history and it would pull up the Wikipedia page and I could confirm the details of why this event was mentioned. And it really, really elevated my reading of this series. I really enjoyed all 4 books. There were some spots where it was a little slow. You should definitely push through because the end of everything is really, really worth it. I cried, it all wrapped up so perfectly, and it's just some really, really great sci-fi literature. So that's all my favorites for today. This video is kind of short and sweet, but I thought it'd be cool to share some of my tastes with you guys. I would love to know what are some of your favorites this month. Any books you're reading, games you're playing, shows that I should be watching. Keep in mind, I really love sci-fi, horror, Japanese things. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, it would be so helpful if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll be back next time with some new content, maybe some new series. So stay tuned and I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.